Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my daily video blog. We are on day 14 of the blog, and it is my 58th day of social distancing. Thanks for watching the blog again today. We managed to get all our technology to work yesterday and had our first day of Council of 12 meetings 100% online. It was very interesting hearing how everyone is doing in the different countries represented. Like I say, it's a busy couple of weeks with these meetings and everything else going on, but I'm committed to continuing to bring you the big daily announcement, to tell you what day it is, to remind you of the Community of Christ Daily Prayer for Peace Country of the Day, to share another of Tiona's book recommendations, and finally, to bringing you a report on a daily check-in I will have had with someone somewhere in the world. Today's Daily Prayer for Peace country is Zimbabwe. You are certainly invited, wherever you are, into the practice of praying for peace. You may also pray for the Community of Christ Daily Prayer for Peace country of the day. Today we'll be praying for Zimbabwe and remembering that there's a world out there. Today, Tiona has another book recommendation for us. The book is called Pies and Prejudice. That's Pies and Prejudice by Heather Vogel Frederick, published in 2010 by Simon & Schuster, Books for Young Readers. Tiona says they've never actually read Pride and Prejudice, so this is the only way they know anything about that. This book is about a group of teenagers in high school who are in a book club, kind of like me, says Tiona, and Emma, who is one of the main characters, moves to England. The book club book that the book club reads in this book is, can you guess? Pride and Prejudice. The book club meets virtually, so Tiona thinks this would be a good book to read during quarantine. Emma is bullied a lot by kids at school in England, so all her friends back home start a baking business to raise enough money to get a plane ticket for her to be able to come home for spring break. That's why the book is called Pies and Prejudice. Get it? Enjoy the book. Okay, it's time for my daily check-in with someone from somewhere in the world that I serve in my work with Community of Christ. Yesterday, I fired up the Zoom and checked in with Bryce Taylor of the Cianito Group of Charities in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Cianito is an affiliate of the Canada East Mission Centre, and they've been involved in providing affordable housing in Toronto for 40 years. That's some 80 board members over the years, most all of them having been Community of Christ members. The really well-respected model that Bryce and Cianito have developed is currently seen in the Bill McMurray residence. That's an 84-unit seniors apartment building. Their concept is that they provide small, affordable units for the impoverished, often those with mental illness. They don't try to duplicate services already available in the community, so the main service that the Bill McMurray residence provides is a dining service. Since for someone already on the edge, the burden of having to plan menus, grocery shopping, and cooking can really about push them over the edge, Bryce was telling me. But with that provided, and a small affordable place to live with a bathroom and kitchenette, people can do very well, mostly independently. They can even thrive. So the Bill McMurray residence, named after Grant McMurray's father, has been very successful. So much so that Cianito is in the final approval stages before building a much bigger facility in Toronto based on the same premise. This project will be 160 rooms instead of 84. Land was purchased about 2 years ago, and the City of Toronto is strongly backing the project. In fact, Cianito won the second highest level of support in a competition with the city's Open Door contest last year. A $4 million grant, tax exemptions of $35 million, all on a $45 million project, were part of the result of winning that city contest. Cienito is applying to the federal government for $5 million and for a 50-year amortization of their mortgage. Bryce says that because interest rates are really low right now, it's an ideal time to be doing this project. It is, of course, a challenging time to be in the seniors' housing world. Most of the residents, Bryce says, at least a good 74 of the 84 residents are doing very well at self-isolating. They did lose 3 staff members at the start of the pandemic who just decided to leave their jobs. But Alfredo Zelaya, the acting administrator, has successfully identified new staff, and they're now trained and working out very well. A fun story that Bryce told me was about a visit they had recently from a nurse for the Ministry of Health in the province of Ontario. The residence has a system for controlling all entry into the building. People are screened, their temperatures taken, and they're asked a series of questions. The screener on this particular day was a volunteer resident of the building. The visitor answered a question by admitting that she had come from another nursing home. Normally, this is a no-no, since travel between seniors' residences can spread the virus. In fact, the Ministry of Health had rules against this, but they had just changed their rules that day to allow for nurses and doctors who supposedly know how to take sufficient precautions to be able to do it. But the screener, doing a good job, prevented the visitor from coming in. The visitor from the Ministry of Health. So the next thing you know, Bryce was on the phone with 5 people from the Ministry of Health wanting to get them back into compliance and receiving visitors from the ministry. But in the end, everyone agreed that their screening system was very, very good. At the start of the crisis, it became clear that about 34 of the residents didn't even have televisions. A call for donations to Community of Christ and other friends resulted in great generosity. And it will really be appreciated because when you're self-isolating in a tiny little apartment, you need a TV to pass the time and to stay informed. It was a good long-time Community of Christ friend who also stepped up to donate a no-contact thermometer back at the start of the crisis when they needed to put a screening system in place. Bryce is grateful for all the support. He points out that what they're able to do now with the Bill McMurray residence and with the new, bigger project is a result of 40 years of generosity and good stewardship, all based on people who had a dream of helping the impoverished and who invested in the community and paid their mortgages all those years such that now there's equity to launch an even bigger project. It is always exciting to visit with Bryce, and yesterday was no exception. Okay, it's about time for our big daily announcement. Da 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 da. Now in this moment, now in this day, but the question is, what day is today? Wait for it. Today is Wednesday!
Yay, Wednesday!
Yay, Wednesday. I thought you'd gone to sleep on me for a second there. It is Wednesday today. Thanks to everyone who was able to respond yesterday. Whatever you were able to give as part of the Giving Tuesday Now project has really made a difference. Even if it was prayers and good thoughts. Together, we raised additional dollars to keep this cause we love going around the world. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep you much longer than that. I am hoping to be back again tomorrow with another What Day Is Today video blog. Again tomorrow, I'll remind you of the daily prayer for peace country of the day. Tiana, are you going to have another book for us tomorrow?
Yes.
You're very dependable. And I'm looking forward to reporting on another check-in with another person to update you on how they're doing. I'll put a link to the Cienito website and to the page with the story of the Bill McMurray residence down in the description of today's video. I'll also post a photo of when Bryce held up in our Zoom the artist's rendering of the proposed Cienito seniors residence. that will be at Finch and Bathurst in the city of Toronto. Okay, so I'm signing off for now from my home in Independence, Missouri. Please, until tomorrow, remember to breathe.